top current issues. And these are some questions that I got from some of the dream bosses that I have the pleasure to work with, and I've had the pleasure to work with them in 2020. So looking at the first question, how do we build our team for the long run while the world around us changes by the minute? That is, I don't think that is going to surprise you. So that's one. Another one is how do we support and motivate and help each other grow so that the business grows? And this is another thing that we'll be addressing today, why people challenges are business challenges and how you can manage that. And how do we scale our team and bring the right people who are aligned with the culture, with the values, goals, and existing team, so that we grow the business through uncertainty? Because we all know the cost of a bad hire, and we also know the cost of good people on the team who leave the team. And I'm not talking just about the financial cost. I'm also talking about psychological costs, right? How do we feel less anxiety and stress and more in control and productive? And then how do we bring in more diversity and creativity so that we build innovative solutions? Because, hey, we still need to serve our clients. We want to grow the business, but we have to serve the clients differently because the reality around us changed. So that is why we need creativity. Creativity doesn't refer only to artists, right? We need creativity so we can find creative and innovative solutions for our customers. Now, my question on top of these is, who's taking care of you? You, as managing your team, managing other people, managing your boss maybe, or your business partner, or at least from time to time, managing yourself, your levels of stress, anxiety, and challenges and everything. You maybe are also managing your team family. Who's taking care of you? Where are you? Where do you fit in all of this process? How about your dreams? How about your growth? How about your development? So we're going to answer this question towards the end of the webinar. So again, stay with me. But until then, all of the things that we're covering are going back to this question and showing you how you can start taking care of yourself, because that is who needs to take care of you. Number one, you're the one who needs to take care of yourself. So let's look at some of the top skills that we need to train for right now for 2020 and beyond, 2021 and beyond, so that we feel like we're taking back control over our emotions and actions and results. That's huge, especially when the environment around us changes all the time. We go basically from one change to the next. So if we're still waiting for things to get back to normal, time never goes back. It only moves forward. So we need to constantly learn to adapt to what the next day brings. So here are the top 5 skills in high demand, which if you master, you're going to be okay. I don't believe in that. And I have to say, anyone that tells you, here are the top 5 skills, you learn these and you're good to go, that's a myth. And here's why. I'm going to show you. Okay, so I can put the top 5 skills, right? I can show them to you here. Adaptability, I don't think that comes as a surprise for you, right? People management, no surprise there. Change management, time and project management, and business mindset. Well, I don't think any of these top 5 skills surprised you in any way, especially in this kind of environment, right? But just look at this, and I'm going to give you an example of why I don't believe in this myth of just top 5 skills, because under adaptability, adaptability is huge. When we define adaptability, and by the way, think about how you define it. When you think about it, what do you see? What do you think about? What that means to you? Because it can be, I've put here emotional intelligence, and I really do believe that that is the starting point. And I'm going to explain in 2 minutes why. Self-care and creativity. And these are just 3 other skills that go under adaptability. And then we have people management. Well, under people management, let me tell you, we have communication. And communication, you already know how huge that is and how many things are included in communication. You have verbal communication, written communication, body language, tone of voice, pitch, eye contact, virtual communication, face-to-face communication, everything. So we can split into so many things. And when you talk about team communication, it goes on to a whole other level. Teamwork and collaboration, these are, again, they might be working hand in hand with communication, but those are also separate skills that you can learn. So whoever tells you, okay, these are the top 5 skills that we're looking for, always know that underneath those just 5 skills, there's a whole lot of work. And I think if we put this into the context where we want to be successful in the things that we do, and especially at work, success overnight actually doesn't exist. It really takes a lot of work for us to understand what these skills are all about and then start practicing them until we've mastered them. There's a whole learning journey from just the initial session where you find out about stuff all the way to mastering those skills, because mastering them means I'm able to apply them over and over in everything that I do. It's like driving. Think about, for those of you who are drivers, think about that. How was it when you first learned how to drive a car, and how it's been after 1 or 2 or 3 years of driving? You don't think about all of the stuff that you do, you just do them. And this is what happens with our skills as well. When we master them, we just do that because it's natural, because we've created that habit. So what I can say about leadership and management skills, these are the critical skills that I find are really, really crucial right now. And as you can see, and this is, by the way, this is one of my e-learning modules. Um, and what I'm saying is, whatever you decide to do for your personal and professional development, start with emotional intelligence first. And then you move on to maybe understanding what coaching and mentoring is all about, and how you can coach your team and coach yourself for better results. Expertise and employee retention, career development, both for you as the team manager or team leader and your team. Responsible initiative, change management, time and project management. These are crucial skills to have right now. And see how we started from just 5 skills, and then I'm taking you through 8 modules that actually also include all of these concepts and courses underneath each of them. So again, nothing that helps us feel and be successful, nothing that is important to us, and that helps us move into the right direction, nothing like that comes overnight. That means a whole lot of work. And if you think about managers and leaders that you like, that you admire, that you appreciate, they have been through all of these learning process themselves. But again, if you want to start somewhere, I honestly encourage you to start with emotional intelligence. And I am going to tell you just a little bit about it. I talk about it extensively in my emotional intelligence course. But what I wanted to share with you here is why that is important and understand where it fits with your personal and professional journey. Because really, the thing about skills is that they're not going to say, hey, you can't use me here because you only learned how to do this for work. You can't use me at home. Well, actually, let me tell you how great coaching skills are for people at home, for parents, or for even when you talk to your partner. It's a different approach when you know something about how you can drive a conversation and use your coaching skills. But I really love this quote from J.D. Meyer, Director of Innovation at Microsoft. And it's really because it gives the definition of emotional intelligence in a nutshell, where he says a lack of emotional intelligence is what limits some people in their ability to manage themselves, manage others, or manage situations. That is what emotional intelligence is all about. And here's why I say it's important for your career, not just for your career, but we're focusing on professional development here. Because according to this study, nearly as much as 80%, now 80%, that's huge, of the reasons why careers are derailed can be traced to weaknesses in emotional intelligence. 80, not 18. And here are the three primary causes of career failure: poor interpersonal skills, people who are not good team players, and people who have difficulties in handling change. Now, I don't want to discourage any of you here. I'm just giving you some stuff to think about. But I also want to give you the three predictors of career success: dealing with a diverse range of issues, managing emotions, and managing social skills. Now, these three are all part of mastering emotional intelligence. That's why I'm telling you, you want to start anywhere, start here. Because this is going to help you understand what the best next step for you is. Because it all starts with ourselves. And here's the thing, again, I talk about it, and this is the last thing that I'm going to cover about emotional intelligence, but it's really important. I cover it extensively in my course. But here's why. Because emotional intelligence starts with self-awareness. The minute I'm aware of how I act and react in all sorts of situations, what triggers me, what makes me anxious, what stresses me, what makes me angry, what makes me happy, and how I react to that, when I start to understand that, I start to recognize, identify my emotions and my reactions, that's the moment when I can also manage them. There is no self-management without self-awareness. First things first, I need to notice stuff about me so that I can manage. So when we talk, remember when we said we're going to see how we can manage or take control of our emotions and actions and results. Well, taking control of your emotions means self-management that starts with self-awareness. So whatever you do, notice what you do, how you do it, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and if it doesn't work for you, how you would like to change it. And then we move on to the social aspect, to our interpersonal skills. We move on to social awareness, because when I'm self-aware, when I understand what goes through in here, that's when I can look around and understand how people might be impacted by one situation or another, why they might be frustrated, what they might be thinking, what they might be feeling, and be able to deal with that rather than ignore it. That's when I can develop empathy. We talk about empathy, we could talk about it the whole week. But that is when I understand that, hey, I need to pay attention to this and address it and do something, or at least be there to listen, because here's what happens to me in that sort of situation. And I might understand better why others people's reactions are different than mine, and work with that rather than let that prevent me from doing anything. And that is when I can talk about managing my relationships. You want to manage your relationships better. And by the way, I told you this is the number one transferable skill that you can have, emotional intelligence. Once you've started to learn it and maintain it and keep developing it, you can use it both at work and at home. It doesn't have any boundaries. So you want to be a better manager of your relationships. And by the way, managing a team and managing people is mostly about relationship management. That's where you start. You start with self-awareness and emotional intelligence. That is it. These are the four pillars of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. Because the minute I start to manage myself and understand how I can manage myself, that's also when I can transfer that over to managing relationships with others.